Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you have the 10 series that I want to start in 2024. Of these, only one of them is not fantasy, and all of them are in the adult age range. None of them are middle grade or YA this year. So let's start with the one that is sci-fi and not fantasy. And that is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is book 1 in the Murderbot series. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I've wanted to start it. And recently my sister has asked if I've read them yet because she loves them. So I'm going to start them this year. And I've already read Witch King by Martha Wells and really enjoyed that, even if it was confusing. So I have high hopes for this series. On the novella front, one that I'm a little bit more nervous about, but I know that this author can write novellas because I've read novellas from her before. That is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. This is book 1 in the Wayward Children series. Both of those series are pretty long, but they are short page length wise. Next, we have one that makes me realize that I misspoke when I said that none of them are YA. I do have one YA fantasy series, and that is, the first book is, I think it's called the Mirror series. And this is A Winter's Promise, and this is translated from the French. I first heard about it when I first started watching BookTube. I don't remember many details, but I do want to start it. Next, we have one that I am a little nervous about, but I have read a book from this author before, and that is Black Sun. I don't know the name of the series. The third book is not out quite yet, but it will be coming out in 2024. So this is basically a completed series. A lot of people raved about this one. We're not so sure about the second one, so I'm hoping the third one will stick the landing. Next, we have another series where I already own another book by this author, but have not read it yet, and that is Selena Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. It's really interesting how faded that is, because this is the former library copy. But anyway, The Books of Babel is what this one is called, the series. Next, we have Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the biggest on this list. It is actually 2 books though. This was initially published, like self-published, as 2 books, and then when it was picked up by a traditional publisher, it was bound into 1. If I start this and I like this, there's a whole like world of series to go along with this one. Next, we have another book that I have an arc of a book by this author but have not read yet, and that is Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. I'm not going to give synopsis or anything for these. All of these are pretty popular series, and I'll probably talk more about what they're about when I'm actually reading them. Next, we have one that I've been wanting to read for a while, but I actually forgot to put on the list last year, and that is the Lady Trent series, starting with The Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I did start a series that was co-authored by Marie Brennan last year with The Mask of Mirrors and enjoyed that. So it'll be interesting to see what her writing is like on her own. Now we get to my top 2, ones that I think and hope that I'm going to love. First off, we have The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I loved her Great Cities duology. I want more of her writing. I even enjoyed her writing in a comic book form. So I am nervous, but also excited for this series because I've heard really good things about this. And all 3 books won the Hugo Award the year that they were published. And lastly, the one that I've heard the most really good things about, and I'm glad that I have an audiobook copy of because I have the British, the UK binding of this, and their paperbacks are so tightly bound. But I'm also really nervous because I've heard such good things about this, but I'm excited about it. And that is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I am so excited to get into this series. I almost forgot to put it on the list, but I'm so glad I did. I have books of a much more reasonable length this time around. This is a short video, but these are the series that I hope to tackle in 2024, and I hope that my choices will be as successful this time as they were in 2023. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.